I'm Teague.
And I'm Sam.
And we are your well-informed girlfriends.
Bringing you stories to talk about with your friends this week.
Mm-hmm.
This week, we're talking about Slop Face in Hollywood, the end of reading, and signs your man has been red-pilled.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, no.
Terrifying.
Okay, we all have to tune into that. That feels like very important information for the girlies.
Yeah.
We'll also be chatting about a new dating app where you are no longer allowed to select your partner. Now you're being matchmaked with AI.
Oh, my goodness.
So
a little dystopian.
Yeah. The robots are picking our partners. I guess that's where we are. We're also talking about how grocery stores are the new hotspot for singles.
Oh, gosh.
Potentially. And millennials are gentle parenting their, drumroll, dogs. Yeah.
I swear, she put this in here just to troll me, you guys.
Yeah, I kind of did. We're talking about that and so much more on this week's episode. But what is our first story?
I am so excited to talk about our next story because
Okay,
I
what
feel
is it?
like we've kind of discussed this to some end, but not necessarily how it impacts Hollywood.
Okay.
So essentially what's happening is Slop Face might be taking over Hollywood. The Hollywood Reporter says that social media, cosmetic procedures, and even Zoom casting are making young stars look increasingly alike.
Yeah.
So essentially, distinctive features are under more pressure than ever to be fixed, so to speak, while plastic surgery is becoming more and more common and patients are getting even younger. And the result is that a lot of celebrities are maybe more conventionally attractive, but they're not as distinctive as they used to be.
Yeah.
And so we see that in like the sort of Kylie Jenners versus, Tom Hanks's. They don't have those sort of distinctive looking faces anymore. They've made themselves as palatable as possible for both camera and life.
Yeah.
And it might mean a sea of sameness as we look out at the new stars. What do you think?
I think this is really interesting. I think it's honestly been happening for a long time just in general because of social media. Before it even hit Hollywood. First of all, also I have to say Hollywood used to really celebrate people's differences and really highlight people who looked different. Like those were like the stars that you're like, oh, that's an interesting, distinct person.
Yeah.
And that's how you kind of get a following. So it's like, oh, I know that face. That's an interesting face.
You're memorable. You have that je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. But like if you all start to look the same, it's like I don't even know one blonde from another blonde. Like they're kind of they're meshing together. And I'm like, I don't know if she was in that thing or that other girl was in that thing. Are they the same person or are they, so no, I do agree. Like this is definitely happening in Hollywood, but I have to say this, I think this is a issue on an even bigger scale. Like we are constantly bombarded with comparing ourselves online. And so it's like anything, especially like on a TikTok or like an Instagram, it's like so many people are talking about, I got this done and I got this plastic surgery done. And we're like making it so normal. It's like plastic surgery has become normalized. And I think people are just doing it at a really high rate. I'm sure I haven't looked into the stats, but I'm sure plastic surgery is up a ton in the past 10 to 15 years because people are just really, like going for it now. So I think it's interesting. I mean, I also think for Hollywood, it's kind of a bummer because when you find these distinct people, that's when people can like connect with an actor or connect with a performer and feel like they are a normal person, that maybe it's like just like my story, like you can like really relate to somebody and like root for their hero's journey. But when everyone starts to look the same, and especially if it's like stunningly gorgeous, it becomes a little bit less palatable for me. Like like when I'm watching just like exclusively hot people, it is fun, but I'm also like, I don't feel I'm not like relating as much as
for sure. It's like,
I'd
listen,
like to.
I have not yet tired of watching hot people fall in love.
For
However,
no, it's still great.
It's still great. Still a huge fan. However, I do think that there is something lost when everybody has sort of the same look. I want people to be more naturally beautiful, I think, or interesting to look at. And I don't know. I do think that that's something we've gotten away from in modern era. And I hope that the younger generation sees its negative impact as they come of age and take over the zeitgeist and like stop doing that.
I think that the younger kids are embracing differences a little bit better than like I do think the people that are really leaning into like not aging and trying to look really good still and leaning heavy into plastic surgery are mostly millennials.
Yeah,
like a lot
that's
of people.
what I'm hoping that like as we like stop being the main decision makers and the main like zeitgeist setters, if you will. I think we're kind of on the edge of that.
Yeah,
maybe I'm hopeful that the younger kids will be like, no, it's cool if they look like this or whatever. But we'll see. TBD.
TBD. Okay, what is this next story?
Okay, this next one's so interesting because the U.S. may be entering its post-literacy era.
What do you mean?
So The Atlantic is reporting that more Americans are reading words, like literal words, than ever. So text, social media, etc. But we're actually spending less time with books and long form writing. And so the number of Americans that read for pleasure has fallen from 28% in 2004 to 16% in 2023.
Wow.
And fewer than half of all US adults say they've read a book in the past year.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy? So researchers are saying that losing sustained reading could weaken skills like critical thinking, attention, deep comprehension, especially as, of course, short form video and AI increasingly replace reading and writing. And so basically, the takeaway from the story is that after only a few hundred years of widespread literacy, like people only recently all learned to read in like the history of the US even.
Yeah.
We're shifting back towards this oral culture, one where video and speech actually matter more than the written word. And that's horrible because like you can't remember nuanced points. You can't think about things as much as you would if you had it written down. And so I think we'll start to see like even the nicknames Trump gives people. It's sort of like Alexander the Great and Little Marco.
Yeah.
The same thing. That's why they gave them names like that, was so that you would remember them.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy and horrifying.
Yeah.
I gotta say. I mean, I think I'm probably reading a little less now than I did, I'd say 10 to 15 years ago.
Sure.
But I'm still reading and I still enjoy reading. And I think like you get so much out of reading. I do think you have to just like change your habits. This is my just personal unsolicited advice, but like, you know, like I have to like make time for it and put my phone in another room because if I have my phone, it's just like I'm gonna be thinking about that. So like I have to put my phone in another room and then I'll like dedicated like read for before bed is specifically when I do it. But like, yeah, that is interesting and kind of a bummer. So we should be reading more, I guess.
I think so. And also it's a great way to feel good about yourself. And
yeah, that's so true. You can brag about reading.
Yeah, I was just about to say stunt on your friends. Yeah. Just like, oh, this book I'm reading, like I'm currently reading this book about how people can, in fact, change their personalities. This is actually true. You can do that.
Wow.
And so I am reading about how to change as a person. So let me tell you in this conversation about changing as a person, you can do it. You can't change it a lot, but you can read more. So,
and that's the thing. I do feel like whenever I say I read, like people are like, wow, like it's shocking.
Oh my God, she's so smart. I know, right?
Whoa.
She loves to read. What
she
a literary babe.
And stuff.
I know. I will. So, and I'll totally cop to this. I read way less now than I did like when we were in college, for example.
Yeah.
Although I will say I read way more fun stuff now, like a book about how you can change or like whatever a New York Times bestseller rom-com type book is out there. You know your girl's reading it. That said, I don't know that I read as much as I did in college in general. Like I think I should be reading more. I should be reading more like scientific papers. Like, you know.
Oh, come on, please. Give yourself a break. Okay?
That's true.
Scientific papers.
Well, I mean, you just want to, you know, I like to know what's going on. And so sometimes I'll like do a deep dive into a thing.
Yeah.
And like Google a scientific paper will pop up and I'll read it. But like now you can have ChatGPT read it for you.
Right. That's the thing. That's the problem. And I think that really brings us to the issue of it all.
It does.
Okay. And we figured out the reason why.
Yes, here it is.
Okay. We cracked the code, everybody. Okay. So this next story, the founder of Hinge released a new dating app. And basically it has AI generate the perfect match for you. So AI is doing the matchmaking. You're like, no, they don't trust us anymore. They say, you actually don't know how to pick it.
You keep picking bad guys.
You keep picking the wrong one and swiping right on the wrong guy.
Oh, okay.
So they're saying, you're not allowed to do that anymore. We are matching you per our AI selection process.
Oh my God.
And what's crazy is this hasn't even been released yet. Yeah. And there are thousands of people on the wait list. Like people are desperate for AI. I think like there's a little bit of like an excitement, like maybe like, oh, like maybe
it'll
I would be super compatible with somebody that I didn't think I would be. But I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of the guys we think we would be compatible, you know? But like they have the same issues. So anyways, what do you think?
Okay, well, I'm so fascinated by this. First of all, this feels like something that could happen in a TV show where it's like, oh, well, everybody who signs up gets matched. So do you only get one match?
I think that's called The Perfect Match. There's a show about
There is a show about this? Oh,
yeah,
okay, well.
That is a TV show that's been on the air for a long time.
Oh, my bad. That's
wow.
There's multiple shows about this? Oh, okay, damn, I'm an idiot. But okay.
No. You've been reading.
I've been reading.
She's been reading scientific papers. You don't have time for that.
I'm cool. Okay. No, I don't read enough. That's what I'm saying. Okay. That is hilarious. I would totally sign up for this if I were single. I would want to know what AI thinks I'm good for. But how much of an input do you get to say and what it matches you for? Like how attractive does it look at you and determine you're a fun
She's a 7.
So here's another fun 7. Like what's the vibe?
I don't know. There's not a lot of details on like what it actually is using for the algorithm yet, but I'm assuming it'll probably look at things like your job, maybe where you're from, maybe your political leanings, that type of thing. It's probably very similar to Hinge, except you are not allowed to pick anymore.
Do you get multiple options?
Again, don't know.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But I mean, I'm assuming they're probably gonna see. I don't think it's just gonna be one person and then the app is done.
They're done. Yeah.
No, they want you to. They want you to stay on the app. They want sustained attention.
It's like actually also if you pay them $20 a month, you can have hotter people.
Yeah, you can actually get outside your tax bracket. You can actually date outside your tax bracket if you paid $19.99 a month.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting.
That's so interesting.
Okay, kids are changing nowadays. Our next story is about how grandma hobbies and birding are back in fashion, I guess.
I have heard that people love the analog energy.
Yeah, well, obviously, as we discuss all the time, and we've already touched on earlier in this episode, but we've gotten a little overwhelmed with these screens in front of our faces. Yeah. So now the kids are birding. They are going out. It's actually gotten so bad on the screens that they're going out to look at birds.
You guys, they're going outside. That's how bad it is.
Did you hear that?
You know what's so funny? I do feel like a lot of our friends also woke up one day and were like, oh my God, look at that warbler out there. And I was like, I'm sorry, when did we just learn bird types?
Yeah, wait, what?
A cardinal. Hen? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. So now, according to the New York Times, people are doing these grandma hobbies. And The Atlantic did a story about kids birding. But these grandma hobbies include things like knitting, gardening, baking. And they're all these like things that are just basically getting you, out of the rigmarole of scrolling and on your screen all day. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I love to see it. I love that. I've seen a lot of like hobby shops around having hobby nights where you're like all scrapbooking together. Or like we had an art night. I did an art night at my place. I actually think that's a great idea.
Oh, art night's fun.
Right. Because it's like, you don't have to be good. That's another thing. I think we've kind of gotten away from this in sort of optimization culture. Like you can just be bad at art and do it for funsies. That's called crafting. And so like, why not?
Yeah.
I actually love that for them. Are you doing any art?
Oh my God.
Any grandma hobbies?
You know what? I love a project and specifically like an art thing. I just, I told the audience maybe a few months ago that I took a piece of art out of the trash that my neighbor was throwing away.
Yeah.
And I repurposed it, put it in my place. I've been like rhinestoning it. And so that's been like a fun project.
Oh, cool. I love
but
that.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to do that and make like the whole thing rhinestoned and fun. And who knows if it'll even look good. But yeah, I love doing stuff like that. I love like sitting down. It really does really put you in a flow state. I gotta say, you have to force yourself to do it. And then once you're doing it, you're like, oh my God, I love this.
Right. And you just feel, it's like so satisfying because when you're done, you can just have
a thing,
a
tangible thing.
I've been doing this junk journaling thing where you keep sort of the stuff that you encounter throughout the day, like a ticket or whatever, and you like stick it in your journal and you write like a little note about the day or whatever.
Oh,
it's actually so satisfying.
Oh, I love that.
And I've been kind of incorporating collage elements just from like magazines and stuff as I'm going through. It's so fun. Highly recommend.
How did you get an actual junk journal?
I mean, I just have, I don't know if this is a problem you share, but I have like a million blank journals in my house. Yeah. Every like month or so, I'm like, what if I just changed everything about who I am?
Do you glue it?
Yeah, I'll just glue it in there. And it's like a blank one that I bought at like, TJ Maxx 10 years ago. And so it's just, it looks crazy. Like the journal's like folded like that. It's giant and overstuffed, but it's fun.
I love that. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah. That's really fun. I love that. Okay, our next story is about how singles, as we've discussed, they're over the apps, they're over all the stuff. So now where are they going? The produce aisle.
I love that for them.
They are going to the grocery stores, according to a new piece by Fox News.
Oh, okay.
Grocery stores are becoming this unexpected social place for singles to meet potential partners.
Oh.
So instead of the dating apps, instead of trying to be set up in traditional fashion, they are going to the grocery stores. Here's my thing, though, about this story. It's like I understand the pitch, right? It's like, oh, yeah, like, dudes, you're going to find them in the most regular way. But it's like, to me, I could never do this. I could never go up to someone in the grocery store. I think that's very strange and weird. And how do you know if they're single? Like, I just think there's too many. It's too stressful to me. The risk, not worth the reward.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Although I will say it does sound like a very sweet meet cute.
Yes, for
If you were like,
sure.
we were both looking at the discount cheeses at Whole Foods and then
Yeah,
whatever. I'm like, that's a great meet cute. I actually
it
joke that
is.
that's my meet cute with my husband, who I met on Hinge. To be clear, did not meet in
Yeah,
person.
who's meeting in person?
But like, I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of ways that could go wrong.
Yes.
That said, there are a lot of ways I could go wrong in a bar too. I think sometimes you just have to like make a little small talk, and if they
Yeah.
seem amenable to it, then keep going. I totally get wanting to meet in
Yeah,
person.
but at least if you're at a bar, like, you're not sober probably. Like, in a grocery store, it's, like, 9 a.m., you know?
That's true.
And you're under, by the way, fluorescent lighting.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
know? It's
true.
like, I've never been seen more clearly than in the produce section and in the freezer aisle, you
That
know?
is fair. Maybe
And
they're going to like the air ones,
and
the
yes.
warm lighting,
Uh-huh.
like only high end groceries
And
available.
also, like, think about, like, if someone were judging me off of my, like, grocery basket, you know, you could, because in the story, it was like, "Oh, and it's great because you can, like, see if they maybe eat the same things as you or, like, you're compatible in that way, like, maybe they're eating, like, the same bag of chips that you like." It's like, no, that's weird. I don't want someone, like, looking in my cart and being like, "Ooh, blueberries this week?" Like, you know? I don't know. The whole thing is a weird pitch to
Oh
me.
my God, that's hilarious.
We'll
Yeah, I
see if
do
it
think that
happens.
I don't hate it. I don't know if I would feel great about it as a single person. But
No.
as like a random person who often talks to strangers in the wild, I kind of love this secretly because I'm like, oh yeah, talk to me. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, but then you'll have to be like, "And I'm married."
yeah, sorry, but I will accept friendship. So,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
all right. So, Teague not approaching men at the grocery
I
store.
can't do it. I don't
Okay.
have the chutzpah. I don't have
Okay.
it.
Oh my God, I love it. Well, okay. Speaking of another generational story,
Yeah,
I am
uh-huh.
excited to talk about this one.
Okay, well, Sam, I did not put this in here to personally attack you.
It feels a little bit like a personal attack.
Okay, this next story is about how millennials and Gen Z are gentle parenting their dogs. Okay, and allegedly it's a problem. So, millennials and Gen Z are treating their dogs more like children than pets, but experts say that that may not always be a good thing. So, here's what's happening: more owners are using gentle parenting techniques with their dogs. So, that means they're avoiding punishment, they're talking through behaviors, and focusing on positive reinforcement. Dogs are increasingly obviously viewed as family members rather than just pets. So the concern, though, here is that trainers are saying some owners are confusing gentle parenting with having absolutely no boundaries,
Yeah.
right? Like, dogs still need structure and consistency and clear expectations to feel secure. Like, without those boundaries, they start to have anxiety, they start to be reactive, they start to have poor manners. Even I even feel this way, and I don't want to I don't want to like talk badly about my dad, but he feeds my dog at home, so much people food. I'm like, he's got such bad habits, you know?
Yeah.
And you do that, and it's like, then but they need these boundaries to be little healthy dogs. So
Right.
anyways, I don't know. I thought this was funny. Experts say that, like, these healthy relationships come with when you, like, combined good boundaries with, obviously,
Yeah.
like,
Well, and
good training.
they say too that like gentle parenting only works when you have clear expectations and boundaries for your human children as well.
Yeah.
And so I'll be honest, like my dog has extreme separation anxiety. She's
Mhm.
had separation anxiety the whole time I've had her. She's a rescue.
Yeah.
And so like I do struggle with that. And
Yeah, that's
I've
hard.
hired like multiple behavioral specialists who have fired her for
Who
her
she's been kicked
anxiety.
out of her classes.
Yeah, but she's like she's fine to the other issue is that she's fine to me when I'm there, so it's really hard to teach her to be nice to others because like when I give her to you overnight and she like freaks out that mom's not there, I'm not there to be like, no, don't do that. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
right, right,
Anyways,
right, right.
so it's like I do want to mention, I just want to give a caveat about my own idiot dog. That
Yeah.
said, I do think that this is something that's been honestly happening for millennials and Gen Z with kids too, a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of parenting and like early childhood educators, parenting experts on the internet talking about how a lot of children are coming into school and they are not properly socialized essentially because they're not being given enough boundaries at home,
Mhm.
and also how they maybe need that structure as children, especially like the ones that are really
Totally.
high energy. And I'm not a
Yeah.
parent of a human child.
No,
Obviously, I
me
can't
either.
claim to be an expert on that. This is just what I've seen a lot on my feeds.
Mhm.
But I mean, like, I think that there's something to be said about that. And I think we're going to start to see this pivot away from what we're calling gentle parenting to like just good parenting.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to get back this is so funny because me, again, no kids. But like I think we need to get back to like there are some rules, you know? Like I have some friends that like just the kids kind of rule the house, you know? And
Yeah.
it's just like I think maybe there need to be like a few rules, you know? And also like the screens I think are very overwhelming,
Yeah.
you know, because parents too like, you know, the kids obviously become dependent on the screens. And then if the parents are on their screens, there's like really no, it's like you're both coping with things with screens. And so I think,
Right.
you know, like I think, I don't know. I don't have a kid. Thank
I
goodness.
know, and I think it's really easy for me to sit here and be like, "Oh,
No,
well,
for
I would have a
sure.
no screen kid," but I will admit I just spent time with my, best friend's 3.5-year-old, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god." By the end of the day and they were, like, putting on a TV, and I was like, "We could have put this TV on, like, 2 hours ago. This is a
Yeah.
lot."
Yeah.
Respect to you, Angela, I don't know how you do it, girl.
Yeah.
But, like, I totally get it, but I think it's just one of those things where we're trying to set up our kids for success, and so we should be trying to set up our dogs for success too. And I think that I could do better. I think many of us could do better. I think we all have to agree we could be better dog parents. We could
Mm-hmm.
stop leaving poop in the middle of the road or whatever it is y'all are doing.
Right.
And
I love that.
I also hate it when people walk their dogs without a leash and the dogs are like attacking other dogs. I feel like that happens around my neighborhood a
Oh,
lot.
that's crazy. I
Like,
always
do better, everybody.
that is crazy. I mean, it's like also why would you ever have your dog without a leash when like we're in such high trafficked areas?
It's crazy,
I mean,
dude.
in a way, I like admire that type of dog. So I'm like, wow, that's a really impressive dog that just like follows its
Follows you
owner. Like, I
around.
think
Yeah.
that's like a well trained dog to me. But I'm also like, that's kind of crazy a little bit because like it's crazy out here in
Well,
the
it's like you
streets.
can't control the people in the streets. You might be able to like know your dog is gonna be fine, but you can't control the car. I
Yeah,
watched a car run into a tree in front of my house the other day. Like, girl, what?
it's too
What if your
much.
dog was peeing on that tree? He would have been flat as a pancake.
Oh my god! And we have to move on because we can't
Sorry,
keep
I should
talking
not
about
talk about
that.
dead dogs on this podcast.
Flat as a pancake. All right,
My
next
bad, my bad.
story.
All right, next story, next story. Okay, the the Evergirl has this fascinating story this week that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
And it's the signs a man has been red pilled. Do
Oh
you know
dear.
what red pilled is?
It's like not good, right?
Right, okay. It means sort of buying into this idea that the world unfairly favors women over men. And it's like,
Now, who could think that
I
in
know.
our society?
Yes, literally, they believe that we live in
Huh?
a matriarchy. It's like a whole thing. The red pilled phrasing comes from the Matrix. If you remember the movie The Matrix,
Yes.
you take the blue pill, you keep on living in the Matrix. You take the red pill, you wake up to see the world as it is. Okay.
Right.
That's where this phrasing comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But it's become sort of part of the manosphere
Okay.
and sort of, anyways. So basically, here are some signs that you should look out for that a man has become sort of like manosphere red pilled. They talk about dating like it's a competition between men and women.
Oh.
They believe women should, quote, know their place.
Oops.
They keep score in your relationship.
Mm-mm.
They speak about women as a group instead of individuals when they're like, all females say this. Females, another red flag word. They blame women for every dating problem. Like, oh, I heard this one the other day. When men are like, oh, well, women think that they can get hotter guys than they actually can. And so it's like actually on them for having believed that the standard is too high for what their stock is worth or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, what?
Ew.
Okay, they perform emotional intelligence rather than practicing it. Like they learn to say the therapy speak of, I'm just holding space, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't actually do anything. Like they
With
don't
it.
actually do anything with it. They're not actually emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
They weaponize being a nice guy. Like, oh, I'm just a nice guy, so I'm going to tell you the truth when no one else will, kind of energy.
Oh my gosh. Now that just
Yeah.
triggered me.
Sorry. They're preoccupied with dominance and control, of course, and they dismiss your concern as you being like brainwashed or emotional. So those are just some red flags to be on the prowl for.
That entire segment just gave me hives.
I'm so sorry.
I have
so sorry.
Hives. I need my inhaler. Like this whole thing, I like.
You've encountered men who say all of those things, I'm sure.
Well,
we pretty much all have.
Yeah, I'm sure we all have. But yeah, that's crazy and upsetting. And they're saying it's on the rise. Is that what they were saying?
Yeah, it's on the rise and it's just becoming more commonly accepted. And this parlance is sort of out, it's just in the wild more often these days.
Yeah. Well, you look at like the Andrew Tates of the world.
Yes,
and
pretty
that's pretty much where it all spawns from.
I think it's like him and a bunch of other guys sort of on
Right.
that part of the internet that
Yeah.
you and I would never venture into.
No,
but-
we're looking at like dogs.
I'm like, oh my God, a dog in a bag. How
Yeah.
cute.
Okay, our last story is about Mercury retrograde.
Yes. Okay. It ends this week. So Mercury no longer in the microwave.
Okay, love it.
Your TikTok feed's probably going to be full of people celebrating this great news. But actually, fun fact, there's no scientific evidence that Mercury being in retrograde actually causes anything bad to happen.
Okay.
It only feels real because of what psychologists call confirmation bias.
Yes.
So we naturally notice and remember the stories and events that fit into this like wider worldview that we are already expecting and ignoring all the times that nothing unusual happens. Of course, I'm not saying astrology is meaningless. A lot of people find it very meaningful, helpful to set intentions, so on and so forth. But just maybe don't blame Mercury next time you text the wrong group chat or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny. I have like an opposite relationship with Mercury in retrograde. I like always have a great time.
Oh my God.
So I'm always like, when someone's like, oh, it's in retrograde, I'm like, ooh, exciting. Like I think good things happen now.
It's time for change.
Isn't
that like another thing though?
It's time for change. It's time for things to either like get elevated or like go away. Like I think it's like time for like things to shift around in that way. So
we love that. We love to see it.
And by the way, speaking of changes, it's Sam's birthday today. So to close out the episode, I thought it might be fun for you to just give us one lesson that you learned this year.
Oh my gosh. I saw you put this in the rundown and I was like, what have I learned in the last year? I don't know.
Or like a fun memory you have from the year.
Oh my gosh. I mean, like if I'm being honest, it's been kind of a tough year.
Yeah.
It's not been like the last banger before 35 of a year that I wanted it to be. So, but I mean, I think I've had my worldview really challenged this year, truthfully, in that I kind of believe that people are inherently good. And if you choose to see the world in like a positive light, that will be reflected back to you.
Yeah.
I feel like that has been challenged to me a little bit. I'm feeling a little more cynical, but I think
maybe that's aging.
I think that's a little bit of age.
Yeah.
And I also think to some degree, you have to have your worldview challenged to either double down on it and like decide that that is what you are choosing to believe despite it all. And I think that's kind of where I'm at. I was calling it my post-optimism era, and that's not, I feel like I'm still an optimist, but just maybe optimist with an asterisk. And I think that that's part of growing up a little bit.
Yeah. And I think by the time we're like 75, we're like, this place sucks.
Maybe. I have to say, I hope that that's not the case for us.
Hope it's not the case. No, I'm sure we're going to be having a ball at that time with the same podcast.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, well, this was so fun. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.